Good morning. Good morning. It's been a terrific Thursday. Thrilling Thursday. I've been poking around in my closet to see what I have to wear that I haven't worn. Been working closely with my doctor to live a healthier lifestyle. And I noticed last night when I went to bed that I've lost a few pounds, and noticed a change in my body shape. And I thought, hey, maybe I should dig around for some of those garments that I made a size too small, or I just didn't feel comfortable in them. I have one to share with you today. It's a honeycomb tank top. Oh, forgot to grab the pattern. Well, let me show you. I have honeycomb stitches in a tank that buttons up the front. It does button, but I think with my maxi dress today, I kind of like the way it fit. I found these glass vintage hexagon buttons in a jar that I picked up from a thrift shop, an antique shop, a secondhand shop. And I found them just about when I was putting the last rows. I don't remember what the sock weight yarn is. It's been a while. Very pleased with the stitch definition on this. And the colors for the honeycomb, it was just a beautiful match. Hold on, I'd really like to share the pattern designer with you. She has some amazingly beautiful stuff. Half a second, flash. Past me made some good choices. I put my yarn hank sleeves in I keep it in a file folder. I have a few different garment patterns in this one. It's called the Honeycomb Summer Tank by BriannaKDesigns.com. I will link that below. Without showing you too much, I printed it in black and white. I tend to do that, and I tend to do the front and back. What can I show on here that's just a picture? Well, that's the best page. It's a very well written pattern. It wasn't intimidating at all. Someday my hair will be long and blonde like hers too. Or not, I'm okay with that. So this, so this is Fiber Art Pure Sock. USCHITITA. The colorway is ochre. There was 437 yards in each one, and I have 2 hanky-panky ball bands. I clipped a sample, and I did some sort of formulation in case I make it again. Looks like chicken scratch, but if I'm sure that if I was into the pattern again, it would make sense. So past me, you did good, kid. You did good. Let's just hold on to all that. So that was a fun make. I didn't note what size I made. I usually highlight that. I did. I highlighted it. I made an extra large. It used 1,100 yards. I used a 2.75 millimeter C crochet hook, and I think that was my only furls hook, that streamline, that metal one, and I bought it with the chunky dark blue navy glitter in it. I don't think I did so good yesterday. I'm linking all the things that I talked about, but today I will. Today I will. What else? I've got a little pile of things over here. When I went on the yarn crawl, it's like that drinking game. Every time I say yarn crawl, come on you guys, you gotta take a drink. I have some coffee today. Nothing too fancy. I put a couple little drops of almond extract with my heavy whipping cream and a little sprinkling of cinnamon on the top. It's a sugar-free way to jazz up a cup of coffee on a relaxing day. On the yarn crawl, I found this pen. It's freaking bats. It's freaking bats. This one came from Heathered Yarn Co. On their counter, they have little trinkety boxes and baskets filled with funny pins. So it's freaking bats. I love it. Anything you can get a smile out of. So they inspired me to use a Steffi Graves thread tutorial to make some freaking bats. And I put them on these little hoop earrings, and then I put a couple little beads on there just to help balance out the aspect of the design. So I have some freaking bats. It was a fun little pattern. So she is a thread crocheter. She works on the micro level. She designs patterns. She has a couple of books out. One just came out recently. I really want to check into that one. I have her 100 micro motifs. She's great. When you're working micro, you want to work into the between stitches, not into the tops of the stitches, because it's very hard to grab them. So that's definitely a pattern design technique that she's got it. I'll put some pictures. The body is like a little puffy stitch, and then there's some picots on the end of the little wings to add some spookiness. I took some pictures in the living room with some candy corn around them. I should post those on Instagram and definitely share them with you. So I did those a couple days ago. We decided that October we should probably decorate for Halloween. And I pulled out a doily pumpkin that I made. I used a Bag O' Day crochet leaf pattern and some curlies, and I made a doily pumpkin. It's used with a pineapple stitch, and you make a round bowlish doily pattern. I think you start, yeah, she starts from the stem and works down. It is a Ravelry tutorial, super simple to follow. Use a big hook, use some chunky yarn. Use a small hook, use some tiny yarn. I did make some out of orange, dark burnt orange embroidery thread one year and made a little tiny one, and I stuffed it with sparkly green tulle that I had. This one's just stuffed with some scrap fabric we had laying around. So this usually sits by my entryway. We have a little chair by the entryway. It's like a catch-all purse station, and I usually set my little pumpkin right there. So that's fun. So we pulled that out. I thought I'd share that with you. I will link the pattern below. I will. And then, oh, I was working on a cowl the last time we spoke. I found this beautiful yarn, some Barocco. I don't know how to pronounce that. Millefori? Probably a beautiful Italian word. It reminded me of my trip. The lake, the trees, these long tall trees, and then we have these little petite shell stitches that remind me of the mountains. This one, I'm gonna take good pictures of it, and then I'm gonna block it. I really think that it needs to be blocked. When you grab those front post double crochets, they tend to need to work into each other to have the full length of the pattern. I sit here and I kind of try to massage them into place. It needs to be blocked. And then I want each one of these mountain peaks to have their full extended potential. So this was a pattern. It was a YouTube tutorial. Let's put on all the crochet today, right? Let's just, I think it'll be like hot, warm today. One of those warm fall days. Let's put it all on. So this cowl is for my wool winter jacket when we go on a trip. So I need to decide if I want the scallops down or the scallops up. We'll see. We'll see. Everything changes shape in blocking. I think it'll look really good. My winter jacket is a light gray, but it's very tonal. It's wool. It's a wool jacket. It fits me well. It's cozy. So I think that will add some glitter and shine to the winter for me. So I did that. That's complete. We're gonna block that. Take some pictures. I think I'm gonna take some before and after pictures. I'd like to see the magic of blocking. We have the socks. The socks. Let's see, I think it's this one. This sock has been giving me some troubles. So I got cuff, cuff, leg, leg. Do mine simultaneously, 2 at a time. So I think it's this one, the little smaller ball. I don't think knit is supposed to have knots in it. So I don't know if one idea that I've got bouncing around in my head's gonna work. So I started the heel flap, which is just working up into a squarish rectangle that goes around the back of your heel. And so you're flipping back and forth. You've got wrong side, right side, wrong side, right side. Because I'm left-handed and I'm working from a right-handed pattern, typically I have to do the opposite. I've worked this pattern quite a few times and I couldn't remember. So I started in, it's a 4-row repeat, very textured on the outside. It's beautiful looking sock. My favorite vanilla sock pattern. So I flipped it. I started with the right side. I was supposed to start with the wrong side. It was wrong. The texture was on the inside of the heel. So I think I've told this story. So talking to my sister-in-law, she had a brilliant idea to run a safety line from the last known good stitch. Well, I figured I could do that. So I took a darning needle and some sock weight yarn and I zipped it through and I started pulling out. When I got down to the first row of the heel, I noticed that when I zipped it through on the purl side, which goes like this. I should have zipped it through on the knit side and only grabbed one of the 2 knit stitches on each one. So as I got down to my safety line, I noticed I just had a coil of yarn that didn't grab the stitches. But I was pulling so slow and nervously that I could go back and grab them. So I went back and I grabbed them quickly. And then I noticed that that coil was tucked in certain spots. And I have these long, like if you're working color work and you get these floats, these long stretches in here. And then, so I scooted them all over, worked them all over gently. And I've got this long loop. I was flustered. My sister-in-law then gave me some very, very good advice. Put it away. Roll it up and put it away. Because if you're frustrated, you're not thinking straight, and you're trying to save it or try to correct a mistake, and you make more mistakes. So I put it away. When I brought it back out, I could clearly see I've got a couple choices. So I'm on a smooth round. I work on 9-inch circulars and I just keep going around and around. I could go ahead and knit around more. It's not exact science. These are 6 inches from here to here. I match them. I just hold them together. I don't even count rounds. One smooth round and then start my heel again. Then later on, before I'm done, I could tack that down and forget about it. Character, right? I could snip it, tie it, not tie it, we don't tie in knitting, was what I was told a long time ago. Do what I want. I could snip it, tie it, and then weave in those ends really good. I could just weave in the ends really good and not tie it. Or I could go back one more row. It looks like those little floats are just dancing right there in that row. I could very patiently, correctly learn how to grab each one of those little 72, I should check that. I could very patiently grab each one of those stitches and go back around. And then continue forward. That's probably the responsible way to handle it. I could also, well, those are two very good options. Leave it, keep going, do a patch job later, or rip out one more row and then keep going. I've been thinking about it for a few days. I can think about this a lot longer. That's part of our fiber art. These don't have a deadline. It's supposed to be a fun, leisurely project. It's not supposed to. This is what we do to escape the stressful stuff of what's going on. But then I also have my second one. So I'm at the 6 inches on it. Looking good, looking good. I know that I want to start on trusting the pattern, the way the pattern's written. I can go ahead and start on this one. I can start on the wrong side, like the pattern instructs, and go ahead and make my heel flap. So that's typically what I do. Cuff, cuff, leg, leg, heel flap, heel flap. So in working this heel flap heel flaps usually take me about a day working on and off, walking away and coming back. So I might just go ahead and do that. I might go ahead and pick this project back up. This is a pattern, like I said, that I've worked a few times before. So I don't watch the tutorial anymore. Simply Stitches has an amazing tutorial. She'll show you stitch for stitch what to do. Work right next to you to ensure that you end up with a sock. And if you do both at the same time, you end up with 2 socks. So I have the pattern in my phone and I just bring it out, when I'm sitting at boxing or I have a few minutes somewhere in between the day. It's a nice small bag to carry with me. It fits inside my purse or I just grab it and go. It's a nice little easygoing project. I think I'll do that. I'll go ahead and start the heel flop because I don't want it, flop. I don't want it to become a dusty old whip like some of the other things around here. And I've been working on a crochet item, which I think I showed yesterday. That's in the car. That's a nice 4-row repeat. It's very rhythmic, working its way through. I still haven't been able to find the pattern for that. I memorized the 4 rows pretty quick after I got it established, and now I'm having a hard time finding the pattern to reference it back. It's a beautiful pattern. I'd love for all of you to be able to make it. Maybe I'll go back and check my pictures in my phone. I take a lot of screenshots to help me remember things. Or if I'm working on a project, I'll lay it out in front of me and I'll take a picture, because if I need to go back and look at what hook I used or what day I started the project or where I was at a certain point, my pictures are my memories. And maybe I'll go back and take a look at that and see if I've screenshotted the pattern a little bit. That seems like something I would do. What else? What else? On the 22nd, we have the Spoony Stitcher Spirit Week starting. I've been working on a few items for that, so I don't have a whole lot of finished stuff to show you. I have the cowl and friggin' bats. Other than that, I can't share it until Spirit Week. I think that's it. I've been organizing some yarn. I dug deep into my hiding places and pulled out some storage totes, and I decided that I need to let go of yarns that I don't care to use. I have a lot of Caron 1 pounds, and they're great for blankets or large garment items. I know you can soften it up. It's not my favorite to work with. So I put the colors on display in the top of my cabinet, and I put together some totes that are grouped projects to keep all the yarn intended for that together. There are some blanket quantities over there, but it could very easily be used for a cardigan or something else. Some variegateds and then some solids to fill in. So I got those organized, and then I decided that it looked like I had kitchen cotton all over the place. The dollar store Premier cotton that I was picking up, the sugar and cream, just all kinds of kitchen cotton. So I found 2 clear storage totes, and I put in a piece of construction paper straight down the blank end of it, and I wrote kitchen cotton. And I just set them to the side of the room. As I went through all the others, I have a stack of storage totes in the closet. I have a suitcase under the bed. I have a long tote under the bed. And then now I've put my 2 kitchen cottons under the bed. I have a cedar chest with hand-dyed beautiful things that's just where they live. And then the cabinet. So I don't have, I think if I rearrange it all and organize it all, then patterns can start to come to mind with the fiber I already have. I'm not really a big yarn buyer. I like to find patterns for things I already have, or I find a pattern and then can it be made in a different weight, or how can I adjust it? And then will the fiber drape well? So if it's organized, I see myself enjoying it and using it more. So besides my cedar tote has my hand dyed, it's mostly DK or sock weight or finger weight. Then I have the blanketed yarns already organized. I think I'm pretty good. I do want to go, I have one more little storage container under my dresser, and it's where I put remnants and scraps. So I probably would like to go through that next and toss out bits that are way too small that won't be used in amigurumi, or if I have way too much of one color or texture, because that's really just little bits and scraps that are being used for accents and details. I don't need to hold on to a whole lot of each one of those colors. That's probably the next move in organizing today. Well, thanks for visiting. It was good to see you. I got some links to put below. I'm gonna get better at that. Links. Last night I went to, I noticed a lot of friends on YouTube and Instagram have Linktree. So I went and checked out that website. They do have a very basic link organization where you can copy and paste one link and it gives somebody all the links to all your IMs. And I went through and I put YouTube and Instagram on there and my email address, and had fun decorating the background of it. That was fun. Organized. So I added that link to my YouTube About Me page, and I had to update some pet information on there, good and bad. What else did I do? That's pretty much it. I've just been poking around, staying busy, right? I'll let you go. Thank you very much for visiting. I appreciate your time. Take care. Have a great day. Bye.